Alrighty, we are back with another review, and today we are checking out a Maxpedition bug out bag. So without further ado, let's hop right to this review. So shout out to Maxpedition for sending over this Falcon-II in foliage green. Love it. It was really fun building this bag into a bug out bag. And I did a little theme on this one. Most people have like just, standard bug out bag. This one's cool. I kind of called this one like the Forager's Delight, I guess you could say, because that's what the theme I built the whole bag around. So figured I'd kind of tell you the theme before we go through the whole thing and kind of dissect everything. But this is the Falcon-II from Maxpedition. As you can see, got it in the foliage green. I got it in like black and gray. I think you can get it in khaki, maybe wolf gray, which is like a light and dark gray mixed together. It's got the straps back here, and it has something neat that I haven't seen on any of their other packs, which my current bug out bag, which I call it bug out bag, but my current go bag, the bag that I would grab when it's time to go, you know what I mean, is a Falcon-III. So if you want to see me bust down my actual bug out bag that I built, that I haven't shared on the channel yet, but if you want me to share it, I will bust the bag down just like this. This one was a video that honestly Maxpedition wanted me to put together something really cool, and I think I did. So let's check it out. So straight out the gate, you have this nice Y tensioner right here, which kind of keeps everything tucked together and keeping it from sagging on your back, which I really like. You can tighten this up right here, which is super important. And the same thing goes for down here. Now, depending on the season, this little area down here with these two straps, I can put like a merino wool blanket, roll it up, and just loosen this up. And it can get me a nice big loop where I can tuck a blanket under here, even like a Thermarest sleeping pad. You could probably tuck a small tent down there, a single person tent, and just strap it up to the bottom, depending on the season. So I left that one open right now because, again, I'm not like packing it like this is a winter bag, you know what I mean? It's got stuff in there for a temporary shelter. Now, again, this bag isn't designed, I didn't design this bag to like provide every single thing that I would ever need under the sun if I wasn't at a home, base or something like that. So keep that in mind as well. It's something where it's meant for you to be able to exist and just travel around or move around or inhabit places that maybe, you don't need to provide the whole shelter for the place. You can just like go in a cave or go into a sewer drain and have stuff with you to be able to stay, good and safe. So side over here, you got side straps, which again help you, just like the Y in the front, from everything sagging and keeping everything close to the pack right here. So we'll open those up, and you can see here we got one large, one medium, we got a small and an extra small. But we also have a really cool zipper pouch here on the bottom. Now this pouch right here, I'm assuming was meant for like a Hydra pack or some kind of a canteen type bag. But since I wasn't packing that type of a water source in here or water vessel, changed it up. So let's start off with that one first. Let's check out the bottom. Now, if you think about this, when you have your pack like this pouch on the bottom, you get instant access to it. So what would you put in an instant access pouch? So I have in here a nice waterproof bag from Pathfinder. And what do we have in here? We have my survival blanket from Pathfinder. Put a few things in here that you might want to grab. Now again, it's a Forager's Delight, so there's a couple deployable bags throughout this entire pack. So here's a little deployable Forager's bag, which you can go around and forage. Has a nice strap here. It's a little wax canvas bag. This one's from Pathfinder as well. We have a lid for my canteen and cook setup, which I'll show you in a little bit. We have one of these survival handkerchiefs, which could work for filtration, but also has some information on there. Honestly, I thought this was like a gimmick, but it probably has some useful information on there that guaranteed if you're just sitting out camping and look this thing over, you'll probably find something you didn't know on there. So I think that's pretty neat as well. It could be a camo one, or it could be something with some semi-useful information on it. We got some maps for Colorado. We got some 14ers, some trails. We have some urban and some recreational maps, some more 14ers and stuff. Again, Forager's Delight, hiking backpack. Weight on this isn't very heavy at all either, which, again, once you see everything that we have inside there. And then this is going to be the deployable blanket for keeping warmth or making a temporary shelter, which is, again, something that's going to keep heat trapped in. It's going to be waterproof. It's going to be windproof. So it's going to give you that quality of life, which is nice. And it all gets packed away in this nice bag. So we'll put that stuff aside, and I'll kind of just empty the bag out and just kind of show you everything that's in there. But that's the bottom pouch right here, which has a nice canvas interior. It has Velcro in here for you to be able to, I guess if your water pouch has Velcro to mount, you can mount it right there as well. It's got the porthole here for you to be able to pass through. You can even see my little cook setup right there. But yeah, really nice little pouch. I like that this is on the back here. Again, it's meant for water, but if you're not using it for water, what would you put there? You know what I mean? Straps, before we flip this over, straps have tons of area on here for you to be able to upgrade this and put whatever pouches you want. You want to put like a Maxpedition barnacle on here, or maybe a pouch to hold your Baofeng, something like that. You want to have like a walkie up here. You can clip them on here. It's got a nice integrated system along the shoulder straps. And then you have a weight strap to help distribute the you have a waist strap to distribute the weight. There you go. So this helps as well to keep the pack centered on your body. So the less your pack moves, which is why I mentioned all this stuff about keeping everything towards the center of gravity for you, the less your pack moves, the less it strains on your body over time. I mean, just think about having something that's constantly moving on you and going against your natural movement. That's going to wear down over time. So keeping this like tight on you, almost like a seatbelt keeps you tight in the seat in a car, it's going to be just similar to that. You want to have everything tightened down on you so that when you're moving, you're one unit. You and the bag are one, if that makes sense. And that's truly important, especially when you're hiking over distances over time. So let's go through the exterior, and then we'll go through the interior packets. We'll start with the small, the medium-sized ones up here. I put all the stuff pretty much that I would need to get access to regularly in these two packs, and then it kind of goes all the way through, and it goes down to the mainstay, which would be like the admin area, if you would. So up here, we have a little pouch that's up top, which again, it's going to be Forager's Delight. So we have two little burlap deployable sacks here for you to be able to, again, go out and forage. We got two of these up front, ready to go at a moment's notice. They fold up just like this. You can collapse them down and then pop. It's back and fold it up, and they fit perfectly right next to each other right here on the top. I don't have to like go rummage around or look for anything of where these things are at. And then once I have my sack, I could actually attach this to my belt, and I could have multiple bags attached to my belt, lightweight bags that I could fill with different things that I'm foraging that I might not want to mix together, if that makes any sense. And that's a little pouch, which is a nice size. And again, you got Molly all over the front of this. They also sent me this little bug out morale patch, so check that out. I had the wife affix that to the front of this for me so I could so I can get that into the video, if you would. So really appreciate that, and thanks for sending over that little pack. It's got a little bug out and a guy wearing the, looks like a Falcon-II, one of their bug out bags. And here's the medium one right here, which is when we start getting into the meat and potatoes of everything. So in here we got some mechanics work gloves. These are the Hydra hide. These are really nice. You can wear these minimally when you're dealing with something that's wet and they won't soak through. So I think that's really cool, actually, and super beneficial. So what do I have in here? This is kind of like a little admin area as well. Stuff to reach for. Again, a nice knife. If you want to have a knife, this is a fixed blade. We got a nice Puko knife, a little finish one. I mean, this is going to be the kind of universal knife that you're going to want to, you can go hunting with it. You can do pretty much anything with it. Carve, whittle, whatever you want, and you can do with that knife. And that's the kind of knife that I would have in the ready to go. I wouldn't have a folder. I would not have a folder up here. You got to go fixed blade. We're bugging out, you know what I mean? So you got to have yourself a fixed blade for sure. You know what I'm saying? Something like this, full tang, dependable, you know it's quality made. That's going to be something you're going to want to depend your life on. I don't know if you want to put a folder in there, but whatever. If some people like to do that, that's their thing. We got a little pouch in here, and then I have a little brass little bag here. Let's go through this. So this is a separate breakaway pouch that I could take this pouch, and this pouch itself has enough tools in here for me to basically be handy for myself if I had to go like on a recon or something like that, and I didn't want to take my whole pack, and I just wanted to take something that was a small toolkit. I can grab this singular pack and go do what I need to do and not have to worry about having this huge bag on my back. It's not that big, but it's big enough to be noticeable if it's wearing on my back. Something like this could slide right in your pocket. So let's see what we got inside this one, and we'll see what the breakaway looks like. So we got Leatherman, of course, the signal. And this one's got like a hammer on it. This one has the bits. This has everything that you need. And then I have my bits back there as well. And then we have a nice little Civivi knife as well in here. This is the, I believe, let's see if we can get this in here without hitting the signal whistle, because this is a pretty tight little pack here, but it has everything packed, and it has enough to have one rack on either side. This is, I believe this is the Praxis. Let's see, I think that's the Praxis. But a nice little knife, again, goes with the foliage green of the bag. And again, a nice folder, but not something that I'm going to pull out all the time. You know what I'm saying? This might actually be on me and this at the same time. Multiple uses. We got a little med kit in here, notepad, pen. We have a little map of downtown Colorado Springs because that's the main hub that's closest to me. We have a little O-Light, the O-Light Mini down here if I want to deploy a flashlight really quick for something small. I'll show you the main flashlight here in a second. But again, this is a self-contained kit that I can take this kit and basically bring it with me if I want to stow my bag somewhere, and I don't have to carry this with me the whole entire time, which I like a lot. Here's the main flashlight right here. We got the O-Light, and it's the baton, and this one is the one in the fighter jet schema. And then speaking of that, we're going to need to charge this thing. So whenever I can get access to some kind of power, we got a little charger here. I put some shrink wrap on this to be able to hold the cable, so it's like super minimal for cord management and to be able to slide this. And again, it like slides perfectly right in one of these little pen holders. So there's the baton from O-Light. Love this thing. I like the colorway of this one too, the fighter plane look. I think that's awesome. We got a Klein scribe pen. Got to have a scribe pen on you for sure. Nothing else back down in there. Again, super lightweight pack. I didn't put a lot of stuff in this thing, but you're going to see some of the cool stuff as we get towards the inside. Now this this is a little like a matchbox. It's a brass matchbox, and it has a bunch of gear repair, some buttons, some needles to thread, some hook needles, some survival cords, some thread, some actual gear patches from Gear Aid in there as well. Just a nice little kit that you got to have something that if your gear gets worn down or gets holes in it, that you can repair it on the go. I put a little rubber band around it just for some added security to know that it's not going to open up on me when it's in my bag, moving around. Stuff's not going to fly out of here. I'm not going to have needles in there pricking me and stuff. So definitely something you're going to want to have on the ready. That's why I put it in here right in the bottom, just in case I need to have a repair option. We have another deployable here. This is from Hide and Drink. Again, a nice little Forager's pouch you can put in your pocket. Again, some things you might not want to mix everything together when you're going forward. You might not want just like one sack and you throw everything in that sack. So that's going to be the top two compartments. Let's go to the bottom two, and then that's the bag right there. So we'll go to this one next, and then we'll move down to the final one. Now, this one's going to be some of the what do you do when you get to a place and you want to actually like set up shop. You want to dig a hole. You want to be able to go number one and number two, and not have anybody know that it was you. You can bury it. So you got a collapsible shovel. I don't know if I need to show you that again. I believe this is from SOG, or no, this is from Ren. Yeah, this is from Ren. So there's I'll show you how this. I was trying to check underneath it because it'll tell you. It tells me right there from Ren. So I must have got this from like Bespoke Post a long time ago when they actually had like quality boxes. And then you deploy it like that. Flip this around. Now you have a shovel. You can tighten this up. And as I said, it's from Ren. Never used it, but I threw it in this kit because I figured this would be the kit to put this in. Taiwan. And actually in my Falcon-II bag, I actually have a just straight up like Russian shovel, which is full. It's full. It doesn't collapse. So this is very similar to that. But yeah, it's got a little saw blade here, which I would never use really. I mean, maybe to like, I don't know, blunt force chop something. But for the most part, purpose is for digging holes. And again, to break it back down, you just unscrew this, and then it just collapses down. And then if you don't want it to move around, you can always, well, this is what I do at least, you can tighten this type of shovel down. Especially if you have something like this in your vehicle, you don't want it rattling around all over the place. So once you tighten it down, it don't make no noise, which is nice. All right, let's check the other main part here, which nothing else in here. Again, lightweight on the stuff, but very functional. So we have a throw. This is throw club, I believe. Yeah, throw club. A little throw club hatchet, very nice. So something on the go that I can make kindling with. I can do lots of stuff with a small little hatchet like this. So wooden handle hatchet. Again, I'm not throwing that. I'm not looking to damage the thing that I have. So again, nothing under here. Up top here, what else do we got? I put a sharpener in here for the axe and the knives. So we got a stone sharpener because again, we're, Forager's delight. Nothing else up top here. We got one of these. Ooh, I forgot I put those little bandages in there. A little hidden delight right there. I didn't even know those were in there. I thought this was just going to be my pass-through for like a rocket stove. But yeah, or for just getting kindling out of wood. That works as well for that. But yeah, super sharp bit, and I got some band-aids in there, which is pretty cool. So again, nothing else in here. Super trim, but effective. So let's open this up. Now this compartment over here, it opens all the way. But I'm not going to open it like that because I like how it opens like this. You can open it from the side if you turn the bag on its side, and you can just file everything away in here, which I think is super useful. So, but since we're showing you the scatter pattern, I'll open it up. But when I'm normally using this bag, the way it's built and designed like this, I would probably just have it like half zipped like this and just turn the bag on its side so I can access everything that's in here. You know what I mean? Like all this stuff, I could literally just pull it out and just, oh, need that. Okay, cool. But what we'll do today, since we are showing you it, I'm showing out the bag and showing you the build out. Let's do a full scatter pattern. We'll open it all the way up. So that's the rest of the stuff that I have in the pack, which again, this is going to be like, I'm not going to be digging into this stuff all the time. You know what I'm saying? This will be stuff that like when I'm stopped and ready, to get into this type of admin stuff, where I'm not moving, then I have all this stuff in the right spot, because none of this stuff I would need if I'm just moving around. A knife, I would need that. Flashlight, I would need that. Gloves, I would need that for sure. You know what I mean? Want to dig a hole because I got to do some business, that's on the ready. You know what I'm saying? I got a hatchet if I want to chop something or cut something up, on the ready, and I don't want to use the knife. So again, that stuff is all separate from this type of stuff. This is more like hunkering down type of things you would need, if you know what I'm saying. So speaking of hunkering down, we'll start over here, we'll go left, and we'll go all the way to the right. So we got some Pathfinder, we got a Pathfinder little cook pot here, a little cup, which nests with a Pathfinder bottle, actually. So, and inside there, I got a little bandana over there for filtering out some water. No electrolytes in this bottle right here because I keep the electrolytes elsewhere. And again, it's going to be my little cook setup right there. After you get a fire started, got a nice way to purify some water. Speaking of that, a separate set of knives just for food. Because again, Forager's Delight is the theme of this bag. So it's centered around eating. The only thing I think I want to put in here, but I didn't really decide to put in here because of weight, was a cutting board. But I figured there's tons of, natural things out there. I could usually use a piece of wood out in nature to cut on, you know what I'm saying? Or a rock. So it's like, I'm like that. I don't need to weight in this type of a bag, you know what I mean? But the weight of having 3 different knives for all different purposes is totally understandable. So you got different knives. I got to rub that one with some oil. Different knives for different purposes in here. Yeah, that one's got to get rubbed with some oil for sure. And they're all different styles. That one's got to get hit with some oil too. You see I got some oil in the back of that one, but I think I got this from Bespoke Post as well. This one's been sitting in a drawer, but been waiting for a Forager's pack basically to be put in, because this is like perfect for that. Let me snap this down. Because again, something you could put on your on your belt right there, and you got 3 different knives. Again, something where you can use these for cooking purposes and not have to worry about having these for use purposes where you're having to clean blades or getting stuff all over your blades. So it's always nice if you're doing especially a nice little cook setup or something where you want to have some amenities. Separate knives for cooking is always a plus. Speaking of that, we got a little cookware set here. This is from Opinel. It's a collapsible one. We got a little towel here to wipe your face, as well as the napkin to wrap everything. And then put some toothpicks in there, which 3D printed. We've got some toothpicks, 3D printed toothpicks, deployable towel. You just get that wet. We got a little bottle opener here for you to pop open the bubbly. And then you got a napkin here. And then this is a little nesting set, which shows you a spoon and a fork that snaps directly. Oops, I think it's backwards, actually. Yep. Nope, that was the right way. That snaps directly. Wait, did I? It does snap directly into this. There we go. And then you have to lock it. Sorry, I forgot you have to spin the Opinel to unrelease for the fork and knife. But now you have a fork, and then you can loosen this so it doesn't fall out. And then you can input the spoon. Now you got a spoon. And then those two nest together. And then once it's open, if you need a knife, you got the knife. And then again, that's how that locks as well. So, but yeah, and then you can lock that from deploying. And then again, these just nest real nice like. And again, that's a full eating set right there. Full size too. Full size and full eating kit. All there just from Opinel, you know what I mean? So speaking of eating, then we'll move kind of into these other pouches. We have from Ruck and River here, a nice little glass vial set for spices. Some salt. We got black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. We got some cloves for you to make clove tea. And then we have some Italian herbs and spices, which has like, I don't know, 8 to 10 different herbs and spices in there. So those are things that would make things taste a lot better and add that quality of life for sure. Nice little pack out for a forager's harvest. Because again, we're foraging things and using some of our things that we have with us to enhance that experience. So last thing I think that's food related over here in this stuff is going to be this, which is something I wrapped up separately, a little mortar and pestle. So got that wrapped up separately so that they don't clang together and then break eventually. So I had that kind of wrapped up in a reused old sewing kit, army sewing kit. But yeah, that's, again, Forager's Delight. Got to have more than pestle. I mean, definitely. Let's go into these things, and then we'll kind of hop into maybe some first aid stuff. So if we're walking around a lot, and we're hiking, and we're foraging, I mean, I know that this stuff is not natural. It's not found in nature, but some Gold Bond will definitely go a long way if you're walking quite a few distance, with heavy stuff on you. So pack yourself some Gold Bond for sure. Your feet and your body will like you. We got some tarred bank line, just a spool of this. This will help string up our temporary shelter. Pretty much do whatever, you can dry clothes on this. You can make whatever you want in regards to structure reinforcements, binding wood together, all kinds of stuff. You can do with that. Tarred bank line is legit, and you should have in your pack. You should have that in every pack that you build out for bug out. That's the ultimate right there. So make sure you have that. Speaking of ultimates, let's check out. Wouldn't have a forager's kit without a fire kit in the forager's kit. So we're going to make some fire. We definitely got to. Here's a little pouch with some fire making utensils and tools and some whittling stuff too that you can use the entrails of those whittlings and carvings to also start a fire. So we have from Exotac right here, the rip spool, which has some duct tape right here. We got a little spool here with some line on it, and we'll pop that, we'll pop this open. And then you got yourself a nice little hook right there, which is, again, another little kind of gear tie type of a situation. I put that there because it fit really well, but we're going to put that aside. We have a little whittler from Old Timer. It's like a multi-tool for carving wood, whittling, dedicated for wood, not something else. Again, another little carving knife for wood dedicated for this kit. We have a ferro rod, a little sharpening rod. I got some fat wood, which can be used if I don't find anything out and about. We have a compass from Wren. We have a nice fire starter kit from Pathfinder. This is called the Mini Inferno, which, as you can see there, has all that fiery starting goodness right there. So super easy to get a fire going. We even have some accelerant cubes here. Threw some accelerant cubes in there. Now for the trivet, we have our chain. And then in the front part right here, we have our top. And then we have some hooks that we could hang stuff on in the center here. A little center post for that as well. And again, this all packs up in this little fire kit, which I think is really awesome. And that, I don't think I put anything in there, which is cool. Again, not a lot of stuff in this kit. I'll kind of push the fire making stuff over here aside for now. We'll pack that up later. But let's check out the last few things that we have in here. And oh yeah, let's show you what I packed in up here. Up here, the last food stuff is, of course, some bacon. So I packed in some individually slices of bacon. These are all like jerky bacon, if you would. But yeah, they're all individually wrapped, and I think that's super important. It looks like a lot here, but it's really not. They're individually wrapped, and that's kind of what makes it cumbersome. But to be honest with you, I'd rather have like a nice little flat pack of bacon jerky that's individually wrapped so I can have like one pack for subsistence and not have to have like a whole pack of beef jerky open. I think that's important. So the individual wrapping aspect of that really was a selling point for me. So anyway, next, let's go to the last two packs. And then I have some elastibandage here for one of these cases. Okay, this case actually. So there's a sticker mirror here. Now I do have a hole in the top of my tin here. If I do want to make any charm material with this tin, I can take everything out, use the tin to make charm material, and then you know, pack that away with me, maybe in my fire kit. So I got an elastic bandage here, which is a self-adhesive bandage, sticks to itself. And then we have a little kit here, which has some breathe right strips, whistle, and then a bunch of individually wrapped medicines. I got a sting kit here. If you get stung, it takes the sting out. Signal whistle, some more towels, Band-Aids, Neosporin, not Neosporin, antimicrobial wipes, isopropanol wipes, Tylenol. So all kinds of medical assistance in here. Even got a little rope in there. I don't know why I put the rope in there, but I put the rope in there, and then it all packs out into this little kit, which is nice, and then I put a little Ranger band on it. And actually, I put the Ranger band on it so it covers that hole too, just so nothing gets in that hole into the first aid kit, because it's sterile stuff, right? Next up, we got the last box in the bag. 27 minutes you've been hanging out. Appreciate you. You are the rock stars. So, Ranger band, obviously, to hold us together. We don't want any of this stuff coming out when we're moving around. We want to be confident that everything in the bag is not moving around. So, food kit. Got to have a little food kit. Not food per se, but maybe food help. We have a little packet of broth here. Put one packet of broth, one tea bag, and one piece of double bubble. And then a packet of sugar. So some, what would you call those things? Like things that make you feel like you're at home. Amenities, I guess you could say, or you know, pleasantries. We got some Meg. You know I'm rocking the Meg. Military Energy Gum. 100 milligrams of caffeine per piece. Pop it in your mouth within like 30 seconds. You're riding the buzz of some cinnamon-flavored gum, that's for sure. Hot pack like that, that's like a booster rocket. When you're moving, it's a mandatory second wind if you eat that Meg. That's all I'm going to say. Mandatory second wind eating the Meg. And you can pile on Meg too. So you can have one piece of Meg and then an hour later get another piece of Meg, and you'll still feel another boost from the second piece. I'm just saying, it's good, really good stuff. Meg's really good. It's obviously, there's a reason why the military uses that type of gum. So inside here, really packed down, we have some freeze-dried Taster's Choice from Nestle. This is straight up coffee, so just straight up black coffee. Then I have some Nescafe, which is a 3-in-1. So for more of a quality of life situation, cream, sugar, and coffee mixed in. But if I just want to have black, I got black. And I got a little sugar there too. We got a bunch of electrolyte packets here from Dr. Berg. We got some vitamin emergency down there if you're into emergency. But yeah, I got tons. This is, which one's a strawberry lemonade? I think the raspberry lemonade is my favorite from Dr. Berg. I don't know if I have packets of it in here, but yeah, that freeze-dried stuff, just all this stuff packs way down into this pack, little box. And then again, you can sit there and line everything up so it all fits nice and prim and proper. We'll put the tea bag on that end, and then we'll put the chicken flavoring there for a little broth. Again, quality of life. Piece of gum, packet of broth, what the quality of life the packet of broth can bring you when you haven't had a normal meal or a hot meal in a long time. That packet of broth could be worth its weight in gold, just have 1 cup of broth. So that's why I threw that in there. Again, it seems pointless to have one little pack in there, but again, Forager's delight. All these tools that I put in here today, I trust my life with all this stuff that I got here today. Do I think this is the most proper way to put together a forager's kit? I don't know. This is my take on it, though, that's for sure. Again, it's not meant to provide every single thing you could possibly think of, and not meant to provide all the comforts of your home in a bag. It's meant to be something that you can put on your back and actually carry. It's not meant to be like an anchor that's going to be holding you down. You want to be able to have some useful tools on you to be able to do a little bit of everything and just kind of exist out in the world, because this is like I said, Falcon-II. It's not meant to have like a whole campsite built into the pack. It's meant for you to put this on your back and go out and about and go do your things and have everything that you need in a way with you. So really cool bag. Thanks, Maxby, for sending it over. Appreciate you so much. Again, why don't you let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of my loadout here, my bug out bag that I put together with this Falcon-II? How would you do it differently? What am I missing? Again, the theme I went with was Forager's Delight. I could have went with like end of the world, zombie apocalypse, civil unrest. I could have went like urban commando, rural commando, mountain commando. There's so many themes you can do with a bag like this. And this is just a theme I went with. So you let me know how you would do it differently or what I'm missing, and let me know all that down in the comments below. And yeah, like the video, and have a good rest of your day.